Input function in Python is used to get input data from users of a program. Let us say that you want to create a program that says hi to people. You require them to supply their name as input data. To write this program that says hi to people, I will start by writing a comment using this hash symbol followed by the comment. The comment will read, ask users to enter their name, and then store the name in a variable called name. Now, because variable names are always on the left side of the assignment operator, I'll begin with the name. And then, because the code or the Python code that asks users to enter their name is the input function. Now, inside the input function is where I can put some string just to direct the users on what to enter. The string will be enter your name, and then I will also put this colon just to make it beautiful and a space. If I run this cell using this run button, I will see that there will be a text box that will appear just below the cell, which will instruct me to enter your name or to enter my name. Now, if I enter my name and press enter on my keyboard, my name will be stored in this variable called name. To say hi to the person who entered his or her name, we'll need to use the print function, and then inside the print function we'll write a string hi, and then we'll make a space, and then we'll concatenate or combine it using this plus symbol with the name, and then also we can concatenate with another string which is just an exclamation mark. So if we run this cell, we can see that it has printed out hi Peter. Now it's also good to write a comment as a good practice. We'll add a comment just above the cell, just above this line, to explain what this line is doing. The comment will be, say hi to the user who entered his or her name. Now, for example, if I run this first cell again, it will prompt me to enter a name. Let's say I enter the name John, and then I press enter on my keyboard. If I run the second cell, I will see it will say hi John. So we have created a program that says hi to whoever entered his or her name. When dealing with Python input function, always remember that whenever you enter a value as input, even if it's a number, the input function will return it as a string. You will need to perform typecasting if you intended it to be a number. To drive this point home, let us write a program that asks for two numbers from users as inputs and then returns the sum of those two numbers. To write this program, we'll begin by asking the user to enter the first number. As usual, let us begin by writing a comment using this hash symbol followed by the comment. The comment will be, ask the user to enter the first number, and then store it in a variable name called first number. Because the variable name is called first number, we have to begin with it. So we'll begin with it, and it will be on the left side of this assignment operator, which is a equal sign symbol, followed by an input, since we want to ask the user to input the first number. After putting this name input, which is the name of the input function, we put opening and closing parentheses. Inside this closing and opening and closing parentheses, we can put the word enter the first number. To make it beautiful, we can add this colon. So if we run this cell, we can be able to see that a text box will come up that will instruct us to enter the first number. Say the first number is 5. If we press enter, 5 will be stored in a variable name called first number. Similarly, we can ask the user to enter the second number by starting with this comment that reads, ask the user to enter the second number. Store it in a variable called second number. Because the variable name is second number, it has to be on the left side of this assignment operator, which is the equal sign, followed by this, the name of the function, the name of the input function, which is input in a lowercase, followed by this opening parenthesis and the closing parenthesis. Inside the closing parenthesis, you have to instruct the user to enter second number. Now, after entering second number, if you run this cell, you will see there will be some words, enter the second number, followed by this text box. Let's say you enter 2 and you press enter. This value 2 will be stored in the variable name called second number. After asking the users to enter the first number and the second number, the next step is to compute the sum of the first number and the second number. So in this cell, we'll compute the sum of the first number and the second number, and then we will store the result in a variable called total. Because the variable name that we want to store the sum of the first number and the second number is total, it always has to be on the left side of the assignment operator. So we write total, and then we put the assignment operator, and then we say first number. Then we can put this plus or addition operator, and then we put second number. So if we hit this run button, the total or the sum of first number and second number will be stored in this variable name called total. After computing the sum of the first number and the second number, it's important to print out the sum of the first number and the second number so that you can view the answer. To print out, we'll use the print function, and then we'll put the variable name total, because we want to view the value that is in this variable called total. If we run this cell, we'll see the answer is 52. Clearly, the sum of 5 and 2 cannot be 52 as it has printed out. There must be a bug in this program that we need to identify, and then we remove it or we debug it. First, we can observe that this 52 came about by concatenating or combining 5 and 2. It seems that this plus operator, what it did, it combined the value that was in the first number and the value that was in the second number. It was kind of concatenating it or combining it. So this one, this plus symbol, it is used for two purposes in Python. First, it is used as a concatenator operator for combining a string and a string, and the second one is used as an addition operator. For example, if the type of this first number is string and this second number is string, this plus operator is used as a concatenator. First, let us investigate the type of the this variable called first number. To investigate the type, we need to use this inbuilt function called type, and then we put first number. So if we hit run, we can see it is of a type string. Also, so we can put a comment here, check the data type, of first number. Also, we can investigate the data type of the second number. So we'll say check the data type of the second number as the comment, second number, and then here we put second number. If we hit run button, we can check that the data type is a string, and it's a common sense that where you cannot add a string and a string. If you add a string and a string, it becomes a concatenation operation instead of an addition operation. Now, to correct this bug, we need to perform what is called typecasting. Typecasting is converting one data type from maybe string to a number or string to an integer. So if we want to perform mathematical operation in this line, we need to convert this first number from let us convert it from the source. To convert it from the source, we need to wrap all of this with this opening and closing parenthesis, and then we convert it to a type, say float. Float is basically decimal numbers. So when you hit this run and you enter 5, this 5 first of all will become a string because of this input function, and then it will be converted to a float or a decimal number using this function in Python, which is called float. Also, we need to do the same for this function. We need to wrap it with opening and closing parentheses, and then we put float so that we can convert it from a string, that because the second number, this the inner input function, when you put the second number, it will become a string. Now to convert it to a decimal number so that we can perform mathematical operation, we'll use this method or function in Python that is called float. So if we run this cell and we put 2, this 2 will be a string, and then it will be converted to a decimal number. So if we hit enter on our keyboard, it will be stored in the second number as a string, as a float. Now if we hit this run, if we run now this operation, if we run this cell, the total will be the first number, which is a decimal number or a float, plus a float. Now if we check the answer by running this cell, we'll see it will give us 7.0, which is the correct answer, because 5 plus 2 is also 7. So if we check the data type of the first number using this type function in Python, if we run it, we'll see it's of a type float, because we converted it to float using this float function, which is also called typecasting. If we also we check the data type of the second number, we'll see that is of a type float instead of integer, because we converted this second number. First of all, it was entered as a string, but we wrapped it using this opening and closing parentheses plus this float function so that it can be converted to a float or a decimal number. So always you should remember that whenever you are inputting numbers using an input function, you should remember to typecast it either to integers or to floats. If you want to typecast it to integers, you will have to use this int function. For example, you can cast it to an integer, which is whole numbers. So if you run this cell and you enter 5, 5 will be stored in a variable called first number as an integer. If you also typecast this one into an integer, which is a whole number, you run. If you enter 2 and you hit enter on your keyboard, it will be stored in the second number as an integer. If you now run this code for computing the total of first number and second number, it will work because this one is an integer, which is a number, plus an integer, which is a number. So you can only perform mathematical operations using numbers. So if you hit this run button, it will be the total of first number and second number will be stored in this variable called total. If you hit this run, you will see that it will be 7 as an integer, because an integer plus an integer, it always gives an integer. So if you check the data type of first number, it will be an integer. If you check the data type of the second number, it will also be an integer. The key concepts of this video is that number 1, input functions in Python is used to get input data from users of a program, and number 2, input functions always return data as strings. So if you need them as numbers so that you can perform mathematical operations on the input, you need to typecast them to either integers using the int function or float using the float function in Python. Thank you very much for listening to this video. If the content of this video has been helpful to you, kindly remember to hit the like button and also to subscribe to this channel.